Hello, welcome to the Dimp Digital Podcast. We're on episode number 25, and this time you have myself, Apps, and we've got Hogsworth, Dave Salmon in the house. Well, we haven't got him in the house, he's over Skype, but how you doing, Dave?
Hogsy, very good, thanks. How are you?
Yes, very well, thank you. So, Dave, it's your first time coming on to the show, and as usual, I like to kick off with you giving a bit of a quick background on the consoles that you currently own, on the systems that you play your games on, and if you have any particular gaming preferences. So you don't mind us just taking us through the consoles that you've got?
Yeah, no worries. So currently I've got a Wii U, a PC, an Xbox One, 3DS and a Vita.
So you got the handhelds as well. You got the new 3DS.
I have got the new 3DS.
And you upgraded that from the old one?
Yes.
Did you trade it in, or have you got two now?
No, I eBayed the first one, which was a bit of a nightmare because I had loads of stuff saved on it, and the transfer didn't go down well. Mm-hmm. But the new one's pretty good, but possibly a bit of an expensive upgrade, if I'm being honest.
I mean, we discussed it briefly on one of the earlier podcasts. Did it not come with a charger? Did you have to buy it separately? Or
yeah, no, it hasn't come with a charger. No.
So did you keep it, or did you?
Yeah, I kept it.
So you eBayed one with no charger?
Yeah, I clearly stated on there it doesn't. But the box I had with the old one did say on it, it doesn't come with a charger, because I had to buy it separately when I first bought one.
Really?
Yeah, well, because I bought the first one second hand, and this one obviously new. I got it when it came out.
Yeah, that's not good, is it? Having to get a charger, that was.
Yeah, it is a strange one. A lot of people. Yeah, I can't really defend that. It's a bit stupid, isn't it?
What have you got any gaming preferences, or are you quite happy to dip into whatever genre?
Yeah, I'll dip into anything. If it's a good game, I'll give it a go. There's certain, I'm not big on puzzle games and games you really have to work things out, that are very hard.
Yeah.
And particularly races as well. I'm not massive on races, but I'll give most things a go.
Okay, that's good. Oh, you like Mario Kart, don't you? That's not. I wouldn't say it's a racer.
I don't really. I consider Forza and Gran Turismo proper racers.
Yeah, they are the hardcore races, aren't they?
I just can't be bothered with them. As soon as I get going, because I got Forza with the Xbox One. Yeah, I come with it on a card. I give it a go, and I thought, it looks quite good for a console game.
Yeah,
but straight away to Jeremy Clarkson, not a winner for me. And it's, I don't know, it's just quite. I think if you're really into cars, it's great. I'm not really into cars. I've got a Ford Focus. I don't care about having a nice car. No. So I think that kind of. I don't get into it like some people who are really into cars. Doing it up and buying new parts.
Sure. Yeah. No, I totally agree with that. I'm much the same. I like motorsport, watching motorsport, which is why I like the sort of pure races. But I'm not really into. Forza where you have to get a road car and work your way up. I mean, it's of no interest to me.
Yeah.
You mentioned you got a PC. I mean, have you got quite a high-end PC? What sort of specs are we looking at here?
Yeah, I've got a pretty decent PC. I've got an i7 3770K. I've just upgraded my graphics card. I've got a GTX 970, which is sort of one of the better cards at the minute. So I'm pretty much playing, everything on max settings that's coming out at the moment.
Cool. I mean, I'll admit that means nothing to me. I've got a PC to play games on, but I've never got into the whole upgrading it. So, but that sounds good. And if you're saying you're playing most new games on max settings, then you must be pretty well set up for the future. This next question might throw you a little bit. Do you have like an earliest gaming memory, sort of, so we can put a marker in of when you started getting into this particular hobby? Was it back in the SNES days, or are we looking at the Master System?
Earliest smoke for me, I'm never sure. It was either the Master System or the Amiga. I had them both around the same time. The Amiga was much better, in my opinion.
Love that.
But I'm not sure. I was like you. I had about 1,000 games for the Amiga, all copies.
Yeah, I don't know how they made any money back then.
That's why it went bust. It must have been.
Yeah, couldn't have helped anyone. No, yeah, I used to love my Amiga 500. Like I said, I had it quite late. But I knew there was around sort of in the late 80s, early 90s, and obviously we were born sort of in the late 80s time, so it was the early 90s by the time we started playing things, understanding it. But the Amiga 500 is definitely a good starting console or home computer, as they were. I'm not sure who's using it as any sort of home computer to do any work on, but for gaming, they were terrific.
Definitely, yeah.
A few episodes ago, me and Tom Adcock went through our greatest games of all time, and we did focus primarily on the console generations, and I covered off my sort of best of the rest, and I bungled in PC gaming to that with the handhelds, and we didn't really give it the coverage it deserved. I don't think, because I play games on PC, but I'm not a PC gamer, if you want to label it that way. Now, although you have a few consoles, you have admitted that you're primarily a PC gamer, and I thought it would be good to spend some time focusing on what your favourite games on PC are. There's a way you can... I've looked at different models, and you can split these up into different generations, sort of the CD-ROM generation, all that sort of nonsense. But for simplicity's sake, I think we'll just go through the list that you've given me, go through your favourites, because we don't need to label everything in life, do we? No. So the first one you've put on here is Theme Park, which is released in 1994. Bullfrog Games. I mean, what a terrific developing studio that was.
Yeah.
What was it about Theme Park you loved so much? So it's an early game. It's on the PC. I had it. I loved it. I must admit, I preferred Roller Coaster Tycoon when that came out afterwards.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But that was a long time after, wasn't it?
Yeah, no, it was about 4 years after, 4 or 5 years after. So there's a big gap between it.
Yeah. So I actually had a Theme Park on the Amiga first.
Oh, did you?
No, I only just thought of that. Yeah, I did. I'm sure it wasn't as good as the PC, but I had it on PC as well.
Yeah.
Later on, but yeah, there was just something about Theme Park. I mean, my little one loves it now. Yeah. So it must
really?
Be. Yeah, I mean, she likes Roller Coaster Tycoon more, of course. The latest one. Yeah. But I think it's just because it's a theme park.
Yeah, when you're that age, you go to theme parks, and it's like the best thing in the world, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much.
To build your own theme park was.
Yeah, your theme park is so basic now. You just got path, queue, and then put rides down. You can do a little bit of a coaster and that, but I just remember it even still so well because at the time I just loved it. I think it was the first. I don't know what you called it. It's not a strategy game really.
No.
But it's a sim.
Yeah,
I think it's the first one I played.
Yeah,
and I've just never forgot it, and I've played it for years.
It got released on mobile devices, didn't it? Did you ever go at the mobile version of it?
I never played it on mobile, but no. I know when you're kind of at that age, sort of 17 to 21, where I don't know if you guys did, but you go to Maria and Zante and all them classic Greek places. Yeah, I remember we went to one, and I had it wasn't even mine, but I had a handheld. It was a DS of some sort.
Sure.
And I had it on that, and it was just Theme Park the original, and it was brilliant. And I played it sort of all the way there, all the way back on the plane.
Did you even go out?
Well,
sitting in playing that.
Yeah, bad, isn't it? But no, it was really good. It held up even then. Obviously, it was only a sort of pick up and handheld, for sort of late or early in the morning when you've woken up and no one else is up yet.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But it even held up then, and that was only about 8 years ago, something like that.
Yeah, it's basic, but he had the fundamentals right, and it was a great thing. One of the memories I had from Theme Park actually is, I can't remember what I was negotiating, but there was like a handshake moment where you had to do like a negotiation over a table, and basically the negotiation ended when the two hands met, and I think you controlled the right hand and they controlled the left hand, and you just sort of lure them over to your side. It was like a game of cat and mouse. I used to always stitch them up. I found a tactic where I could always get them, and often they would actually end up worse off. So I don't know if it was the unions or it was the pay. I don't know what it was now, but he was negotiating some financial deal, and that's one of my most vivid memories of.
Yeah, I can tell you as soon as you said it, I've remembered it exactly how it is. Two long straight arms.
Yeah, that's it.
But I'd forgotten about that. But the thing is, see, when I played it as a kid, I would always cheat. So I don't know if I got it too often because I just have unlimited cash and money and all that all the time.
Just throw money at the problems. No point negotiating. Just go have another million.
Yeah.
Cheating. That was the good old days of cheating. So Theme Park, I think it's a classic, and it although I think you could say Roller Coaster Tycoon is better. It was released 5 years after, when things had moved on quite significantly. By that time. For
sure. I actually wasted 20 quid on a load of toilet recently on Steam. I'm just looking at my library now. Obviously, it's not installed anymore.
No.
Where is it?
Straight off the
hard
drive.
Adventure Park. Played 100 minutes. Absolute rubbish.
Is it?
Last played 9th for the 11th, 13. And I still remember buying it. It's $3.49 now.
So it's gone down in price.
Yeah, it was absolute dreadful. It looked great. I think I was at work. And I looked at it and I thought, you know what, that looks really good. It had great graphics.
Yeah.
It just looks like a theme park with great graphics. I thought, I'll give that a go. Yeah, absolute rubbish. And it wasn't even to do with the fact that, we're not really into them kind of games now.
No, it's just crap.
Yeah, I gave Ella a go. She's 9.
Yeah.
And she thought it was crap. She played it for 10 minutes and was like, "Oh, I'd rather Roller Coaster Tycoon."
Oh dear.
Have a good buy.
Don't get clones. Don't get modern clones. I bought Roller Coaster Tycoon 1 and 2 off of Good Old Games, I think, for about £3 about a year ago.
That's what GOG stands for. Do you know what? I didn't even know that.
GOG.
Yeah, I bought games from there. I never knew it stood for that. That makes sense.
Good Old Games. I used to think that was a pirate site, but apparently it's all legit. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
It's a good site for older games like that, because I don't know what they do, but they make them, they develop it in a way, they change them so they actually run properly with a modern operating system, which is I think that's quite a problem with some of the older games. If you try and run them, natively, they just
that's right. Yeah,
they do not accept.
A lot of XP only.
Or
that even for them kind of game. Theme Hospital was one.
Yeah.
For GOG.
Yeah, no, I mean we got Theme Hospital on the list here again. Another Bullfrog game. I love the themes. And Theme Hospital, I remember I got this. I think it was a copy actually. I can't remember now, but I got it for one of my birthdays, and I played this for fucking ages.
Yeah.
I loved Theme Hospital. I liked Theme Park, but I loved Theme Hospital more. I think when it came
it's
down
just
to
a better one. A few of my mates love it even now. We had a little fest a little while ago, and we played. I think they came round to play, Fallout or something big. It was a while back, obviously, with Fallout.
Yeah.
We ended up playing that for about 6-7 hours. When you just sort of keep going.
Yeah.
But we do it, so we all start at the same time. It's actually quite good.
Yeah.
At the top, you can press like file restart, and if you all start a level at the same time, most of the same sort of things happen.
Yeah.
But obviously, you build your hospital slightly different, and
So
it's
depending
really
how
good.
you built it.
Yeah, it's really good all sort of playing. There's someone will fail.
Yeah.
So
classic.
it's quite good. It's a really good thing to do, and it holds up easily now. No problem, even today.
So I think I picked this up off Origin for free. It was quite a few weeks ago now, but I remember seeing there was an advert out, and it was free to download on Origin.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
I picked it up.
Yeah, so I've got it there, and I've yet to install it. And actually, it's installed. I've yet to actually boot it up yet, but I'm definitely planning to go through it. And I actually might record my playthrough of it, because I imagine there's so much nostalgia kind of playing a game like that, and the fact that it's free on Origin now. I'd imagine it runs okay on a Windows 7 machine. So they've made some changes to it. I went back in the day when I had it. Obviously, a younger kid. I don't think I ever got past sort of the 4th or 5th level. I got to the one level where it starts earthquaking and fucking things up, and I couldn't do it.
Yeah, you get too many epidemics as well.
Yeah. There were too many blokes coming with big heads that were dying. That was like basic level 1 stuff that I could do, and then suddenly
it's a hard game. Remember Paul, who used to come down at the castle?
Sure.
Well, he got it on the PS3, I think. He downloaded it. Might have been like a classic, like a PS Classic or something. He downloaded it on that, and we was down a pub, and there's two of us down there who were, one of my mates who still play it now with me, and we said to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I finished Theme Hospital the other week on the PlayStation." We said, "Get over there, what are you on about?" Yeah, no, I finished it, no problem. It was easy. It's quite an easy game if you play it now. And we're going, no chance. You're having a laugh. And we asked him about the epidemics, and he's like, no, I don't remember any of that, but I definitely finished it. I got all the way around the board.
One of those ones.
Yeah.
Massive lies.
No chance.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to give that a go. I think that's another classic. Bullfrog. It's a shame that the sort of EA bought them out and almost liquidised them in a way. Back in the day, they had some classic titles, and Theme Park and Theme Hospital were definitely the best ones. So one of the great things about the PC version of Theme Hospital was, I remember having the PC version. I got it for my birthday, like I said, and Piper had I think he had the PlayStation version. I think I'm correct in saying it was on the PlayStation. Resolution was terrible. Like you could even on my crappy like old PC, I could upgrade it and actually looked smooth and not just blocks of shit. Yeah. But the best thing I found about the Theme Hospital version on PC was that you could shoot the rats.
That's right, yeah.
With the mouse, and you could kill them. I thought that was amazing. You couldn't do it on PlayStation.
No, it doesn't surprise me. But do you know that if you did that, I don't know how it worked. I think you had to shoot a certain amount. But if you got a certain amount, you went onto the rat level.
Yes, it's like a bonus level, wasn't it?
Right,
I remember that. I think I did it once or twice.
I don't know if there's any point to it, but
no, just a good little mini game.
Yeah, when you was young, that was great. If you got to, I think because of the mystery of not really knowing how you got on it. It was a big thing. You go to the board expecting to move to the next level, but you actually move to the top left corner of the board or something.
That's it.
For that one.
That's it. Yeah, and the thing is, back in the day, then, in sort of 97, 98, the internet wasn't really. Not everyone had it.
So I didn't have it.
You couldn't have gone online to check this sort of bonus Easter egg, could you?
No, that's it.
You'd have just experienced that, and then told a mate, going, "Oh, if you do this, da, da, da," and it'd be all word of mouth.
Yeah.
So it's complete. Like now that'd be released, and the first thing you'd see on IGN would be, "Oh, bonus level and things."
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame, really, isn't it? It's not as you're not buzzing as much when something happens because you know it's coming anyway before the game's even released.
Yeah, you've already read about it. You've probably read the ending as well by accident because that's already been leaked.
Yeah.
Brilliant, just what I've been waiting for. Theme Hospital, Theme Park, though, fantastic pair of games, and Bullfrog Games, rest in peace.
Definitely.
Good boys and girls there. Moving on, you've got Quake 2. Now,
yes.
I had Quake 2 again. I played Quake 1 around my mates. I think in general, I preferred Quake 1, but it's because that was my first-person shooter I played.
Yeah.
So it's that will always stick with me. What was it? Did you play Quake 1 and Quake 2, or did you just jump in at Quake 2 and that was the one you picked up and played?
Yeah, no, actually, someone bought Quake 1 for me, I think, and I thought it was brilliant. It was that I'm not sure it's either out of that or Duke Nukem 3D.
Sure, that was a good one.
That's a great game as well.
Yes,
it probably was. That was probably the first one I played actually.
Yeah,
but I didn't have it. And Quake 2. I see, it was so big for me. I remember it was my mum's best friend's kids. They came round once, and it was a copy, a copy disc with Q2 written on it.
So
anyway,
to do, wasn't it?
Yeah, he bought that. I watched him playing it, and I was just blown away. It just looked amazing.
Sure.
I'd never seen anything like it. I don't know what the current consoles were at that time, but it was probably still I don't think
PS1,
I don't think PS1 was out.
Oh, really?
It'd be interesting to know when Quake 2 came out.
Yeah, I think it was 97, so the PlayStation would have been out, but I know it was I think it got released on the N64. But I know there was some terrible console ports.
Definitely.
I've seen the side by sides, and I think actually I remember maybe buying it on the console after I played it on PC, expecting it to be the same.
Yeah, as you did back then.
And played it and thought, what's happened here? This is not how I remember it. It's worse.
We had it on the play because we had the 4-player adapter for the PS1.
Yeah.
So we actually played Quake on that because obviously with a PC didn't have the internet.
No.
At the time, none of my friends had a PC really anyway. So.
And you weren't going to bring it round your mate's house because they were massive, great big towers, and it
exactly
wasn't the thing to do, was it?
Nah.
No.
So that couldn't really be done.
No, one of the good things just sticks in my mind about Quake 2. I mean, I completed it, cheated, God mode, brought up the console and went God.
Not the same.
Couldn't. I don't think up until 2002 I completed a game without cheating. So that is what happened.
Good.
I think Metal Gear Solid was the first game I ever completed.
You couldn't really cheat though, could you?
No, I don't think there was any cheat code. I was livid, so it took ages. But I had to learn the hard way. Nowadays I can't bear to cheat.
No, it's not the same, is it?
I can't stand. If I cheated, I'd have to stop the game, I think, and start again.
You can't really give it a big one about completing anything either, or achievements sort of avoid. I imagine. I haven't done cheats for years.
No,
I'd imagine achievements avoid. I would imagine.
Yeah, I think it does avoid a lot of them. So that's a big no for some people, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the great thing about Quake 2, I mean, obviously I said I played Quake 1, and you had these big Yeti monsters. You had all sorts of shit going on in Quake 1. In Quake 2, there was quite a few human enemies, I remember, and one of the things that sticks out to me is just on the very first level you get two blokes that come down, you kill them both, or you think you kill them both, you shoot one of them, he goes down and he gets up and he fires just two extra bullets.
That's right.
as like a dying sort of effort, and at that time I'd never seen that before and I was absolutely amazed, just that little detail he added there. He died seconds afterwards, but just having to avoid an extra few bullets after I thought I'd killed him, I thought was incredible.
Yeah, I remember that. They're sort of all like the first kind of guy. I used to know the names for the enemies. That's how much I was into that game. But I can't. No, I thought I'd think of them now, but I can't. But it's the first guys, isn't it? The first ones, but it's the basic gun.
Basic like grunts, isn't they?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. No, both terrific games. I mean, a shame about Quake 3, but I think Quake 1 and 2 were definitely great. Would you like to see a reboot of those if they?
I'd pre-order. Well, I don't really pre-order anything, but I'd buy it on release if they. Unless. Because the reviews normally come out beforehand. I don't really like reviews, but if it's a game I really want and I look at it, and if it's got just above average, I'll still get it.
Sure, yeah. So you just want to make sure it's not broken, don't you?
Exactly, yeah.
Because you know what you're going to like it, and that's what I usually use them for. If it's a game that I'm dead set on, I'm confident I want to get, as long as it's not broken like Assassin's Creed Unity, that sort of level, then I'm happy with it, and I'll go out and get it. First-person shooter number 2 on the list. Half-Life, the original.
Yes.
Terrific game. Again, completed it cheating.
Ah.
I did complete it, actually. I went back about 2 years ago and completed it without cheating.
The first one, was that off of Steam?
No, I had the discs. I had
wow.
the Opposing Force and Blue Shift.
Yeah, that's it. Because I was going to say to you, there was
Half-Life Generation, I think it was called. It had all of them.
Yeah, when I had done the original, I didn't write it on my list, but I did the 2 expansions as well. Blue Shift, I think, was a third, but there was
you're right,
2 other ones, and I did both of them, but I couldn't even remember what they were called.
No,
I pretty much finished them, and then that was it. It was just a single player game. I didn't really go back. It wasn't for me. It wasn't like Quake, but I'd sort of done about 1,500 times. But they were still brilliant, Half-Life, but they were a bit later for me. I was in senior school, probably around year 8, maybe. Yeah. Year 7, year 8, something like that.
Yeah, so I think the actual original release was 1998. And the thing I noticed back in these days, sort of the late 90s, is that I wasn't getting anything on release because I didn't really know what was coming out. Because the internet's just sort of just about starting. There's not that much buzz going around for me. I wasn't really into the magazines. I don't think I got this until like 2001 Half-Life.
Yeah.
So I finally got my hands on it. But the original certainly was amazing.
Yeah, I in my school, like your form where you're sort of first going.
Yeah.
I sort of made a couple of friends there who were PC gamers. Yeah, just the 2.
Yeah.
But they were big PC gamers, and I was sort of, I mean, I suppose your mum must buy your games at that age. Obviously, don't have any money. Yeah. But my mum wasn't tight at all. She'd get me a game now and then, but not much.
Yeah.
But when I did get a game, I just luckily always seemed to get a good game. And I'd go to school, and these 2 lads wanted all of my games. So they'd be like, "Yeah, can we borrow your Half-Life and we'll give you these free?"
Yeah.
So then and you had nothing else to do at home in the first year. Not. So I'd go back and finish them 3 games, and then come back. I'd buy another game. They'd not have it, and I just ended up having loads of games of theirs all the time.
Just sucking them up.
Yeah, and his dad was like, this guy Rob. His dad was like, well, I don't know what he'd be like now, but at the time I thought he was a hero because he had like LAN parties.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the internet, so just going there and saying, "Oh yeah, we're having everyone round for a Quake session."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Oh, can I come?"
Yeah.
So, well, yeah, you can come, but my dad says you've got to bring all your PC, and you ask your mum, and you take the PC, it's the family PC. You can't just take that from someone's house.
Oh, that's incredible. Half-Life itself was like you said, it was a typical single player game. The bit I loved the most was just the beginning where you start off on that tram, and it takes you into work, doesn't it? It's Gordon Freeman, and you just for the first 20 minutes you're just doing a normal scientist job, aren't you? Going collecting all your biohazard suit, you're getting ready,
that's right.
You carry out the experiment, and again that's the first time I'd seen something like that. Just most games chuck you at the deep end, it's all kicking off, there's all bollocks blowing up, but this one actually gave you sort of 15 minutes just to get to know the world, get to know what Gordon done, and just get to know the environment, and then 10 minutes later it's all gone to shit and the whole Black Mesa is going down the pan. But did you ever play Counter-Strike, which is obviously a mod of Half-Life?
No, that's a game that you'd think someone who's been playing PC games for this long, because I've got friends who have been playing PC games for 5 years who play that now, like Source. Is it Source?
Source, yeah. There's one Global Offensive as well.
Yeah, they still play it now, don't they? They love it. And I still see it coming up on Steam on sale, but no, I just never got into that. I think maybe, again, because we got internet quite late. I don't know when I got the internet, but certainly not when I had Half-Life and Quake 2.
Okay.
So, there wasn't really a reason for that, because it was kind of multiplayer, wasn't it? I think I was...
multiplayer only, wasn't it? I mean, I downloaded some bot software because my internet was... I got the internet, and then it wasn't good enough to actually play online with. It was terrible lag, awful. Yeah. Like, everyone was just skipping like 10 feet. Like, I think I got 1 kill in about 50 matches, and I was like, this ain't good enough. Downloaded some bot software, and it would populate the maps with bots.
We're still getting bot software in Wakering now, aren't they?
Yeah, that's all we can do.
When I was there, the internet was terrible. It's one thing I always remember from Wakering.
No, yeah, I think it's got a little bit better. Like, mine caps out about 35.
Yeah, you had to have Sky, didn't you? Or you used to when I was there.
Yeah, no, it's changed now. You can go through different operators for that, but it's not as bad as it used to be. But it's still like poor Logan. He has terrible internet because he's sort of on the outside of Wakering, so it's even worse for him.
It's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, it's come a long way, but still in some areas it's sort of being held back. Dear, The Sims, excellent. Now you've just put The Sims when you sent this over to me. Is that just the original The Sims?
Yeah,
Is that your favourite of the 3? Or
no,
it's 4 now, isn't it? I
yeah,
guess.
probably 2 was probably my favourite. I just put 1 on my list, because I played so much of it. But again, I was at the age where I'd come home from school, and as you know, I wasn't the sort of boy to do his homework, so I'd just be straight on the computer and I would just play The Sims over and over again. Yeah, with the cheat again. I was just all about buying houses. But
Simulants,
I did do the jobs and stuff, but pretty much sort of think, well, you know what, I'm going to try today and do it properly. And then after half an hour, we're like, well, I can't afford that. Let's just do the cheat and the massive house.
No, I mean the Sims was fantastic. And The Sims 2, I think I've said it in the past. That's my favourite one of the 2.
Yeah,
of the 4. So I keep saying 2.
Yeah, I've not done much of 4, but I've done a lot of 1 and 2. But Ella played a lot of The Sims 3. Not really for me. I don't really think I'm into that sort of thing anymore. But still a very good game.
Have you got The Sims 4?
No, haven't got 4. No,
haven't got 4. Because 3 they shifted it a little bit, didn't they? Because the actual whole neighbourhood was sort of open.
That's right.
Whereas before you were restricted to lots on The Sims 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Did you prefer that, or was it just you think that you sort of grew out of them in a way? I mean, I say that, but I still like playing them now, so I haven't grown out of them yet.
Oh no, I mean I don't play them now, but I could quite happily sit here now and build a house. It's just that like you lot, I've got so many games coming out my arse. Sims sort of is at the back
burner, yeah.
But yeah, I didn't like it at all. But little one did like it. She thought it was great going around to different places, and I don't even know what you did really, but you could go to just other people's houses and to the shops and to the beach, things like that, wasn't it?
But I always felt there just wasn't enough time to do that in The Sims 3. Like just travelling to a shop, it took like 6 hours. Yeah, that's half my day off gone.
You know what? That game loading was ridiculous. It was terrible. The Sims 3. Apparently, they've improved it in 4.
Yeah, it runs a lot better. Yeah. And I had both, and I think I bought most of the expansion packs for free, like cut price, like later on down the line.
Yeah, I did as well.
It installed them all, and it just killed it. It was.
Yeah, you need an SSD drive for that, which is wrong. Although they have gone down in price a lot, but you should never have to have an SSD to play a game. But it does run a lot better if you have an SSD in your PC, but they cost a lot of money.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. What was it about The Sims 1 and 2 you liked then? So you sort of gone off the boil in terms of game for Sims 3 and 4, gone out of it. But what back then enticed you in? It was something completely new to me. I'd never seen anything like it.
Yeah, I can't remember how old I was again, but I'm guessing again at a sort of around 98, 99 maybe.
2000, I think The Sims nearly. Was. So you probably like
halfway
year 8
through
again.
School. 8 or 9 I'd have been. 8 or 9, sorry. Yeah, I don't know really. It obviously wasn't my first sort of sim game, like I said, Theme Park, Theme Hospital were, but it was quite different, wasn't it? There'd been nothing like it before. I loved the building part of it. I loved the making the family.
Yeah.
Everyone sat there and made stupid families, of different things. And it's so funny because, I watch Ella do it now. Yeah. And she'll do exactly what I used to do when I was young. It's hilarious. It's ridiculous and stupid, but I think I used to do exactly that.
Yeah, but does she burn them to death like I imagine you probably did? Take the swimming pool ladder away and deal with that? Yeah,
well, she does that, but I was a bit older, I think, than her. She'll sort of do it by accident.
Yeah, well, she was purposely trying to torture her.
Yeah, well, you did everything. You had time, didn't you? You just do that and then start another one, do something else, start another one.
Yeah.
Just do it all night long.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose like half a day playing The Sims, I found. It was addictive as well. Even though you weren't really achieving anything, you just look and go, that's annoying, it's 2 o'clock in the morning now. Yeah, I've been sitting here since 8.
You just lose yourself.
Yeah, fantastic games. And I've got The Sims 4 and I do mean to play it a bit more. I think I've played about 6 hours of it or so.
Yeah, not good these days, 6 hours. It's a big investment for 6 hours.
Yeah, it's still good.
Like that, though.
It's a step,
Venture Park being a good one.
Well, I think they're great games, and I think they've changed the style a bit of The Sims 4. They took away toddlers and swimming pools for a while. I don't know what they were playing now, but not gone down well with the Sims community.
I read that, the swimming pools. I think that's why I thought. Well, it was actually because I'd bought, as you said, all the expansion packs as well. So I think I'd bought one about 2 weeks prior to 4 coming out. So I thought, I'm not really going to buy a 4 yet. But then when I read about no swimming pools, I said to her, look, there's no pools in this one.
Yeah.
She loves making a big pool.
Yeah, they've added them now.
Yeah,
so maybe
I read that.
So you can have that. There's still no toddlers as far as I know, though. So annoying. They've cut out a life stage.
Pets, because Pets was a great expansion on 3.
Yeah, I used to love that. I think it was on 2 as well, but 3 definitely. There was wild animals running around, weren't there? In the fucking village. Terrific games. I think they again, they were new, so they set a sort of new genre up, really. And I don't think anyone's even successfully even tried to clone it. So
no, not at all.
That
nothing at all like it. Well,
no.
Off the top of my head,
I can't think of anything. Now let's move on to a title that I have literally no clue about, to be honest. Diablo 2, released in 2000, yes. Blizzard North. So this is gonna, from now onwards, we're gonna see a lot of Blizzard Entertainment sort of games coming out, either published or developed by them or one of the smaller studios in Blizzard North. What is Diablo 2 in a nutshell? Because I've seen videos and I don't understand what's going on. And I'm not digging at it. I'm just saying I've not played it.
For sure, yeah. So in a nutshell, I would say it's a 4-player co-op.
Sure.
You couldn't call it a hack and slash because it's a mouse and keyboard game. Where you click to attack, which sounds rubbish when I say it like that, but it's not. It blew me away. It had, nothing that can wow you today, but at the time, you had different classes. It was the first time I'd seen the paladin, the warrior, the mage. That might have been the wizard, I think, but that sort of stuff that you get in all games now, nearly.
So it's almost like a trendsetter for these different classes.
Yeah, for me it was, yeah. I did have Diablo 1 before this, which was similar, but 2 really was the one that for me, made it much better.
That was geared more towards online play, though, wasn't it, too? They sort of seemed like they opened it up a little bit.
Yeah, I think you could, because I've done 3 as well. I think that might have been online only, but 2 wasn't. I pretty much, at that time, still didn't have the internet. So, I was still playing 2 on single player, but it was built for online. I did end up playing it online when I got the internet.
That's good that it's on the list and it was geared towards online, but you played most of it single player, and it's still on there. So that
hard on single player as well.
Was it?
So it might have made me a bit better, but I wasn't that. I didn't really. I didn't finish it on single player, but I think I sort of thought I understood it all, but I probably didn't. It's just stats and things that are simple now, but it just amazed me at the time, all that kind of thing. I wasn't ever sort of into fantasy type games, but I was, but I didn't think I was until that came out. I thought I was all about Quake and other normal games, Crash Bandicoot. Things like that. I just didn't, but then it blew me away, Diablo 2, and I've not really looked back with sort of games like that.
No, come out of left field and it's opened your eyes up to.
Yeah, I don't think I'd played too much co-op before that. I probably had played a bit, but I don't think I'd played much co-op before that either. You could probably tell me something I did, but I can't remember too much co-op memories before that, really. Well, not more than 2 players anyway.
No, yeah, I mean, this is out in 2000, so again, if you haven't got the internet, you're not going to be playing that co-op, are you? There's no other games out at that time that are gearing towards it, so it's probably, once you've got hold of it, this is probably a game that you was playing and, gave you the opportunity to play that.
Yeah.
Diablo 2, Blizzard North. Next on the list, you've got Max Payne. Now, I know this was released on the consoles, but I remember I played both. I had it on PC and PlayStation, and the console port was not very good.
It was built. I think it came out on PC first, did it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, so it came out on PC first, and then was ported down to the console. And the load times, like, as usual back then, it was just awful. And I mentioned it when I talked about Mafia being one of my favourite best of the rest and the greatest games of all time. That had a console port again, was awful, and it just spoilt the game almost. But the PC versions of Max Payne were definitely the better ones. I played Max Payne 1 and 2 on PC. What was it about this game that made it onto the list then? Because bullet time, I can imagine, was being the main thing. That was just straight out of the Matrix, ripped off massively, but that's what everyone wanted at the time.
Yeah,
it was all the rage.
So this game, I knew nothing about it. It was one of their moments where you sort of go, because I live sort of 15 minutes from Lakeside, so I'd be forced to go there with my mum a lot. But every time we'd go, I'd be able to go in game or HMV, and I'd sort of run down the end to play on the. I sort of remember it being an N64 normally at the end, things like that. But this is sort of back when, as you say, no internet, etc. So you just go in and have a look at all of the games, and you just pick one that you thought looked the best. Yeah. And I'm guessing Max Payne was quite new, but it was there, and I just literally looked at the front, looked at the back. Yeah. Thought, this looks really good. Took it home, and it ended up being like one of the. Well, it might have been the best game of the year at that time, and it was unbelievable. The slow motion shooting, bullet time, and it was. I mean, the acting now will be terrible, but at the time it was fantastic, and I was quite young. It was all about drugs, wasn't it? And his wife gets killed at the start.
That's it.
It's quite emotional.
Wife and baby.
And baby, yeah.
Sort of newborn,
yeah. And that again at a young age, that's like whoa, that's big. That's really serious.
Well, I even think looking back now, it's still a great narrative for that, and I think it holds up well.
It's kind of I
like the noir style that the graphic novels, the way the stories are told.
That's right. Yeah.
I thought they were really good, and the voice actors. I mean, he's a bit corny, but
yeah, he was very much so, wasn't he?
But it fitted the bill, didn't it? That's what it was all about.
Yeah, that was a big game at the time. I don't remember even playing. I think someone might have had it on a console, but yeah, I think I was, because I've actually kind of used to. I've gone from like PC snob to console player to sort of pushing back to PC snob these days. Yeah. But yeah, I loved consoles as well at that time. So I sort of wouldn't have not, but I think I was thinking like, well, why would I bother with it on the console? It's, I want the mouse because you press right click to.
Easy, wasn't it?
Yeah, to what's it called?
Activate bullet time.
Yeah. Whereas I'm not pressing R2. That's ridiculous. How hard is that? Then your aiming's all over the shop. Whereas with the mouse, you're just clicking on someone. So I was just used to it. I think it was clearly a PC game port over.
And it was a terrific game. And Max Payne 1 and 2 both great. I played Max Payne 3 on. What did I play? I think I played it on 360, and I thought it was a good.
Did you finish it? Because I've got it and I've not touched it. I bought it on PC on that Steam sale for a $5 or something. Yeah. I'd love to, but I just haven't. Again, backlog. One of them that's been mugged off for years.
I mean, it's just been dropped, isn't it? Yeah. That's good. I enjoyed it. I mean, it gets somewhat repetitive, and it's probably not what people are looking for these days. But as a linear sort of shooter, and the bullet times they're still good fun even today. I think.
Yeah, I can imagine. I played it about 15 minutes. Just try it once you downloaded it type thing. But I didn't go back. Yeah, I'd like to. I sort of preferred the dark sort of style from the first one.
Yeah, it was very gritty, wasn't it?
It's not quite like that at the third one, or it doesn't seem like it is at the start anyway.
No, it's set in Brazil, or in South America, so it's a bit more colourful, which is a welcome change, but you do have some flashbacks where it's a bit more grittier, and it goes back, but I think it's worth giving it a go. 3, 1, 2 and 3, it's a great little trilogy in my view, and certainly 2001 with bullet time, that's a massive new feature, and that's probably why it stands out.
Yeah.
Unreal Tournament 2004.
Yes.
So this is obviously released in 2004.
Yeah, it'll be around that time.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too far away. Now, do you have the internet here to play this on multiplayer? So this was the big multiplayer game.
Yeah, I wasn't going to put this on my list, but a friend of mine, when this came out, just bought a new PC. So my one was aging by now. I think I don't remember when, but mine was probably a few years old.
The family computer was dying.
That's it. And they were all sort of from PC world, so it wasn't like we really knew what we were doing. We were still going down there going, oh, what one's the best? And they'd tell you, oh, this one's the best because it is, and you don't even know what they're saying.
No.
Whereas now, someone like me, every PC in PC world's toilet.
Yeah,
but,
of course.
Yeah, so my mate just bought a brand new PC, and we got Unreal Tournament with it, and sort of loaded it up. We were probably 2004. I'm trying to think what we were playing, because I think I played PS1 my whole school life. But it might have been PS2 era, N64 at this time. But we got this, and it pissed out whatever else was out at that time, graphically and gameplay features, as in movement, jumping around, jumping off walls, double jump,
animations, all
in a shooter. It was fantastic. Everything about it was brilliant. I wasn't very good at it, which was frustrating. My mate was quite good.
Yeah.
But he only had a box room, like in his mum's house, really small room. But all night we'd just sit there and just swap seats all night long. I'd just watch him play, swap seats all night long, and then wake up in the morning and just carry on.
Yeah,
just keep doing it. It was so good. But it wasn't really a game that sort of. It was one of them games that was brilliant, but it sort of wasn't one of my favourite games.
No.
But it was just fantastic.
Was that the first sort of online multiplayer competitive game you'd played, or
no?
Had you played previously ones before?
Yeah, the first one I actually played, which is a series that everyone loves to hate it now, but I pretty much do despise Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But was Call of Duty 1 on the PC, which was actually a really good game. I
had it.
I think I played that before Unreal Tournament, but you probably know more than me about that. But I'm not sure. It could have been after, actually.
But Unreal Tournament was better. You preferred that?
Well, very different. At the time, when each one came out, it was new, so I liked them both very different. I think that sort of the Call of Duty one was the first kind of war one that I played, whereas Unreal was the first sort of crazy, fast,
futuristic.
That's it, yeah. You know, crazy guns. It wasn't just submachine gun, shotgun, pistol. It was, you know, I can't even remember the names of the guns, but yeah, ridiculous, you know, shadow blasters and all sorts of things like that.
Did it have a single player campaign, or was it just all out multiplayer?
Yeah,
whatever you did?
It did. The 2004 did, but it wasn't, because there was games before that, Unreal games that were campaign games. But it wasn't like them. It was really, it was kind of like a deathmatch type thing. You know, not a real campaign with a story or anything.
No, I had just Unreal. It was called.
Yeah, the original one. I remember that.
The very, very original one. And again, cheated through the campaign.
Standard.
But I remember there was a level on that I used to always play, and you could play with bots again. You didn't have to download anything; it just come as it, and it would just track your score against the computer players. But there was a giant like fan in the middle that would cut you up if you fell into it. It was like a big dome around the edges, and I used to love playing that. And I always looked at Unreal Tournament, and I thought I really want to play that. And I think I only got to play Unreal Tournament 2004 a handful of times around my mate's house, and I was really, really bitter that I never got to play sort of the upgrade, because I loved Unreal, and I thought this is just like the next step up. And playing against other people, real people, all that nonsense. But a shame I never got to play that one.
Yeah, it was a big step up, definitely from that original. But I remember that original one as well. I think I had a copy of that somehow.
Yeah. That was another birthday present I ended up with. Dad got it off a mate, so I don't know how much he paid for it, but it's probably a cheap birthday that year.
Yeah.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, unfortunately, has to be in there.
Well, 2005. I looked at the release date, and before we come on air, I was talking to you, and you're still playing it.
Yeah, well,
you're still on it. 10 years. Well, expansion packs.
Cancelled my.
Just cancelled it. Yeah. So. Let's rewind back in time. 2005 comes along. Did you jump on the bandwagon straight away, or was this something that you just saw gradually that gained momentum and then thought, hang on, I need to give this a try?
So it wasn't the first MMO we'd played. We'd played a right load of crap before that. Final Fantasy being one of them, because we loved me and my mate loved all of the console games, Final Fantasy. That's sort of 7, 8, 9, 10.
Sure.
And then this, I think it was 13, because I didn't bother with 12. No, it was 11. Of course.
How was it?
Yeah, it was 11. Yeah, so 11 online. Oh, it was poor. It was absolute rubbish, and you had to pay for it. And we were sort of quite young, maybe I'm guessing around 16. Because I must have had a like a debit card.
Yeah.
So sort of, but I thought, I'll give it a go because I was really into the game, and I thought I don't mind paying
Visa Electron.
Yeah, that's it. Visa Electron. Yeah.
Play.com accepted that. I used to love that. I've got about 600 DVDs I don't need just because of that.
Brilliant. Yeah. No, that was crap. That we had Dungeons and Dragons online. I think it was called. There's loads of games called themselves that.
Yeah.
And Vanguard Saga of Heroes. That wasn't bad. And I think there was another one, City of Heroes. There's probably more. We tried all these MMOs, and some of them, not Final Fantasy Dungeons and Dragons were a bit crap, but some of them weren't too bad. But then WoW came. A mate of mine said, "Oh, have a go at this," and I went round his house, and I thought it was an absolute toilet. It was just, it's like if you watch someone now play, and they're just walking on the map, and you're like, well, what's going on here? Well, no, that's not what it's about. You do it, but you don't really listen to them.
No,
right, then, sure. Yeah. Anyway, he gave me his trial, just to get a trial with it. So he gave me a trial so I can play with him for a bit, and they hope it lures you in, and it did.
Yeah.
So I went and bought the game, 30 quid. And then my mate come round and exactly the same with me. This is crap, what are you on about? Then he went and got it, and it spread, and I'm still playing it now. It is such a good game.
Yeah.
Anyone, I don't know anyone who has played it for, give it some time.
Give it the chance,
and then quit. I've known a few people who've tried it for 10 minutes, gone, this is crap.
That's not enough, though, is it?
No, of course not. No, I'm just actually going on it now just to see what my play time is. Because it would be embarrassing. I noticed you, was it Destiny? Like the other day, you guys said about your times.
10 days he's clocked up.
Yeah, when you said it, I thought, I'm sure, like my WoW is, obviously
years of accumulation.
With the expansions, it's gone right up, but my play time is silly.
Yeah, I remember like 10 days is like, Destiny's only been out in October last year, and he's gone mental on that. But I mean, we played Call of Duty 4 I played it for a week, which is very long for me to play a game, and I know there's people in our group that played it for 30 odd days. That was mental.
Yeah.
But World of Warcraft,
116 days.
116 days of human life.
Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it?
That's over what? Did you get it? Did you say you got it straight away?
No, but
A few years in?
Oh, no, not even a year. Maybe sort of 8 months is a guess.
Oh, right, so it's as good as a decade, give or take,
but
just for
I have been off.
sake.
I took nearly a year out at one stage. So, yeah, so it's not ridiculous, but it just goes to show how it's basically still the same game, and, it's still going strong. And with this new expansion, they've got a lot more people back, because they lost a lot of people the last one. The last expansion was crap, and they've managed to sort of claw a load of people back. I think they're back up to 10 million, I think.
Oh, really?
So they were paying $8.99 a month. So I think
$8.99.
Blizzard are laughing their head off.
Yeah, they can't believe it, can they? Yeah. That's pretty good for them. That is insanity. 116 days. It is over a decade, I must say. So that's probably a little bit more acceptable. Yeah. You mentioned that a friend of yours pretty much got addicted to it.
Oh, big time. Yeah, that's Si. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah. I remember Simon.
Come down, yeah. So he won't mind me saying, it was a long time ago. Probably he was probably about 18 or something, but he was unemployed and had this. And he pretty much played day and night for about 6 months. I think it was about 6 months.
Really?
And it was a time where, this was a period where I'd stopped for a bit, because you can obviously cancel the subscription and then go back. So I'd stopped, and I'd be trying to sort of gather some people around for a beer, and I'd turn up round there, go up there at sort of 9 o'clock at night, and there he is. And I'm like, "You coming out then?" He's like in his pants.
Yeah.
I'm like, he's like, "Oh, yeah, hold on a minute, Dave. Yeah, I'll be with you in a sec." 10 minutes. No. I'm like, "Well, come on, Si, 'cause I want to go out. You going for a beer or not?" "Yeah, hold on." And he goes, "Oh, I'm really sorry, mate, but I'm gonna have to stay on this, because we're here, we're there." And I didn't understand it at the time, and I had no sympathy. I was just like, "Oh, whatever. Bollocks to you then. We're going out." So I'd leave him, and I'd get a text like 6-7 hours later when I'm on my way home from Las Vegas or wherever, and he's still on it. Still in the same group. But now, because I got into it properly, obviously not like that. It's a bit more organised now. But I can totally see where he was coming from. It's so addictive, and it's such a reward. I've never played a game that's as rewarding as Warcraft.
Got ya. I mean, I've never even tried it.
I've tried getting you a couple of times, haven't I? You're not interested, are you?
I just know that I could easily either get sucked into it and wreck everything I've built for the last 20 odd years, ruin my life, or not. I'm going to be like you did the first, not give it the proper amount of time, and then not really be able to form a proper opinion on it. I do want to give it a go at some point, but I've got a lot going on in terms of games. Dragon Age is still getting too much time being played, and there's other releases coming out. So one day if I get like a week or two off, I want to just give it a go.
Yeah, I think it's very rare for someone though now to get in now.
So you're like a legacy fan of it, or you're not?
Yeah, kind of. It does seem like that. Yeah, I know people have got into it sort of a few expansions back, but yeah, it's a bit different now because you can't really experience the magic. It sounds a bit cheesy, but it was at first when it came out. Sort of. Yeah. So it was huge. It was a proper world where you just fly. It didn't load. You just flew everywhere. It got different mounts and stuff, but the world changed. When you went overseas and whatever.
Sure.
It was absolutely massive. There was nothing like it.
No.
Everything was just good. I know it's called an MMO. It's massive multiplayer, obviously. But what other games could you do a 40-man dungeon? They're doing it they're doing raids now in Destiny, aren't they? And I've looked at it, and it's like it's WoW 10 years ago, and it's crap. It's not even good WoW 10 years ago. But fair play to people, because if they've not experienced it, then it's good, because it is good. It's a great idea. But it's just it was so ahead of its time.
Yeah. Excellent. I mean, Blizzard Entertainment have been laughing away to the bank ever since.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, there's been times I've been annoyed with them where, so as I say, when I took about a year out at one point, I just thought, I'm giving you $8.99 a month here, and I've done everything. You're not really bringing much out.
Yeah.
But then Warlords of Draenor come out. I think might have been October, or it ain't been out that long. And I sucked straight back in again. All the new content was great, and that was it. You get in a sort of, they call it a guild. It's like a group, like a clan or whatever. You get in one of them, and if they're quite good, you're making progress, or getting further in raids, and it's really addictive. You want to get in every, so you should do it twice a week. It takes up a lot of your time, though. So that's another thing. If you want to do well in it, it takes up time. Like Haley doesn't like it too much when it's like, right, well, I'm doing this on Wednesday and Sunday. She'll say, well, in a few Sundays' time, we're going to like my mum's, and I'm like, well, I have
the guild needs me.
I've got Warcraft and stuff, so it's not that bad. You can take a bit off, but if you want to do well in it, you do have to dedicate some time, and really 2 nights of about 3 hours at a time is about the least.
Really, that's the minimum.
Really, so but that's not for everyone. That's just there's lots of ways to play it, but that's the sort of serious end game raiding. type to do it. Yeah.
Got ya. Well, it's certainly one of the most successful games and franchises of all time. So it's no surprise to see it on the list. Just moving off that quickly, I was a little bit surprised to see this one on here. Left 4 Dead 2.
Yeah.
So that is a 2009 game. Probably fantastic co-op. I never actually got to play as properly with a full co-op team, so I never got the sort of best experience out of it. Why Left 4 Dead 2, Dave?
Well, I think Left 4 Dead. I'm just trying to think of, because I did play 1.
Yeah.
But I picked 2. It's similar, but just it just improved on basically. Yeah. And I put so much hours into it on Steam.
Yeah.
It's. I mean, I don't need to tell you what it is.
Yeah.
It's your four-way co-op shooter.
Yeah.
Basically,
sure.
It's more more of a wave game, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's not like Horde mode on Gears of War, for example, but it's more that sort of thing, and I prefer that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I love Horde mode on Gears of War, for example. Yeah. And it just that I like the fact that if you could put it on really hard difficulty, and you really had to work as a team. And as much as all these games that come out, not now, they've been saying it for years, there's not many games where you really have to work as a team. It's just nonsense. You can do team deathmatch where you haven't got a clue who you're playing with on Call of Duty. Not just Call of Duty, but it's the big one, isn't it? And no one gives a shit. You're just running around. You're not really playing as a team. No. And I just think it's crap. You might as well do deathmatch.
Yeah.
But you really have to help. You can't shoot each other. You have to use med packs on it to help each other out. You can't just think yourself, because if your mate dies, then you're probably going to die if you play.
Yeah, it hampers you, doesn't it, later on down the line.
Things like that. You've got to stay together. Your person in front has got to crouch all the time to shoot them.
Yeah.
It was just good. A lot of arguing, but I always think that's normally a good game because you really want to do well.
Yeah, as soon as voices are raised over chat, you think everyone cares about this. It's got everyone's blood boiling. Would you want to see a third, or are you quite happy just to sort of bookmark that and say, no, it's a great experience, Left 4 Dead, and it's time to move on?
No, I'd definitely love to see a third. It's another one that I'd probably buy and release, providing that my mates did.
Sure, it's reliable. It's relying on that. Isn't it?
Definitely. I wouldn't play it by myself. I hardly ever play. Because I still play now every now and then, but he's getting on now. But I'd never sit and play it by myself. But again, it's because of mods. Yeah, a massive advantage of PC gaming is modding, and there's so many mods out on it that maybe not, but it could probably stand up with one of the new console games if you've got all of the, the graphics mods and that turned on.
Yeah, sure.
With it.
Got ya. Final game on your list: Starcraft 2, 2010. It's a real-time strategy. It's Blizzard Entertainment again.
Yes.
Talk to me.
So, my first, not that's what you're asking me, but my first RTS game that was similar to that was Age of Empires 2.
Sure, I've heard a lot of good things about that.
Oh, you've not played it? So
no, I was Command and Conquer boy, so
okay.
that sort of crap. But I've heard that Age of Empires was very good in its heyday.
I'd imagine Command and Conquer is probably more like Starcraft, but I don't really know.
Okay.
But so Age of Empires was brilliant. It was, basically, everyone's got a base, build a wall, so you've got a bit of defence, get recruits out to go and kill the other base, type thing. So that was fantastic, but that was back in the day, and that was sort of swords, shields, all that sort of spears and whatever, horses. Yeah. Whereas StarCraft, obviously, it's all sort of space and alien-y, but it's I think the first one since Age of Empires 2, which is very old. I mean, that must be well old. And it's the first one that has caught my eye ever since then. So I just thought them games had lost it. They can't make any good ones anymore. I tried quite a few, wasn't interested. But then StarCraft come out, and I hadn't played the first one. Just because of playing Warcraft, I knew a few people in there that got it. And I was like, just get it. And
a little distraction.
Yeah,
from
I think
Warcraft.
I actually played I don't know if it was a demo, but I had something where you could just do a little bit of single player. And I was like, you know what, this is pretty good. Done a bit of single player, sacked that off because like most games I got sucked into the multiplayer, and it's a great game, very fast paced, and you have to be quite good at it, which is why I stopped playing because you always get to that point where China and Korea just kick everyone's arse at them sort of game for some reason. But
they just wipe everyone out.
Yeah, pretty much. But again, multiplayer, my mates were playing it. Si's pretty good at it. Taught me to get a bit better, and when you have them sort of games where you just do like 2v2, and if you have a really close game, even if you lose, you love it and you want to play again and get a bit better. Whereas if you get smashed or you win by loads, it's boring, isn't it? You don't really want to play. It's like a football match.
Not interested.
Yeah, similar sort of thing. But I wasn't really good enough to have too much to say about it. It was very basic. You start off with nothing. You have to get a few resources, then you can build a few buildings, then you can get more units and vehicles. It was that basic structure, but it was just really well done.
Yeah,
and just fantastic multiplayer. And I'd say some expert will probably argue, but I would certainly say my best sort of real-time strategy game of all time, without a doubt, because I haven't had many.
No, and it's all about opinions at the end of the day. No one can definitively say this one's better than that. It's all about your personal enjoyment. So if StarCraft 2 is your favourite RTS, then StarCraft 2 is your favourite RTS, and that's why it makes the list. Now, I think what we'll do is we'll call this particular conversation to a close, and we'll continue our conversation in a couple of weeks' of time. We will go through some of the other topics that we plan to go through in here, but I think that going through that list in a bit more detail was good. It was enjoyable to go through some of the older games and give the PC, or your PC, your life in PC, a bit of coverage, because I'm aware we sort of glossed over it in the greatest games of all time. So it's good to have someone who's into PCs giving their favourite games. I think it's good to do that. But we'll pick up in 2 weeks' time to continue our chat and go through some other bits and pieces to do with PCs and consoles. But for now, thanks very much for joining me this time, Dave.
No worries.
It's been a pleasure to have you on. You guys at home, if you want to get in contact with us, remember to tweet us at Dimp Digital. That's one you can get hold of. Facebook.com, which is Facebook. It's facebook.com/Dimp Digital for the Facebook page. And our email address is dimpdigitalmedia@gmail.com. Check out the Dimp Digital YouTube channel. Whilst you're there, hit the subscribe button. That's it for now. Game over. It's goodbye from Dave.
See you later.
It's goodbye from me, Apps. Thanks for your time, and ta-da. It's on the borderline, isn't it?
At the moment.
Yeah.
My headset's turned off, Joe.
Is it?
Oh, you're back. Sorry, mate.
That's all right.
Now I'm going to plug it in. I've kept it. It's not been plugged in.
Did it cut off, did it?
Yeah. Hold on, sorry. Right, it's plugged in now. Yeah, it cut out. And I thought you'd gone.
Yeah, but what a wanker. Got me on here. On the PC version, you could shoot rats. You could shoot the rats with the mouse. I don't know if you ever did that.
Yeah, sorry, Joe. It cut out again, only for about 2 seconds.
Did it?
Yeah. On the PC version was the last thing I got. But hold it there, because I'll get some headphones on, because this could happen again in this point. I'll go and get some proper headphones on. Just give us 2 seconds. Hello.
Hello, mate.
Right, hold on a second, because I can't hear you. I can hear you, but I can hear you out of the headset still. Right, speak now.
Hello.
Oh, still coming out of that. Right, hold on.
What's it coming out of? The speakers or the headset?
Fucking hell. That's coming out of the main speakers. Oh, there we go. That's better. Yeah, I can hear you. Right, let me just turn you down a tiny. It definitely won't happen again now, because I've fucked myself. It's good. That's good for £100, though. I'm happy with that.
Is that how much?
It back. Do you know what? I've noticed it's been happening lately, but I thought it was just because of battery.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was plugged in then, and it's still doing it. It's just cut. It's the whole thing cuts out.
So you just dead silent, was it?
Yeah.
It was like, fucking hell.
You'd come back and you'd still be talking, and I'd be able to, get on the end of it and tell you after.